edges. Together, let us do this. Welcome back, my friends. Join me in a standing mountain pose. Feet inside of hip distance, really rooting through the heels and the tops of the feet, and tracking a long line of energy from the calves to the backs of the legs, tracing up to the sit bones, each vertebrae, the neck and the top of the head, really just finding your grounding here. Bringing a big breath into the heart and exhaling it out. And just allowing yourself to show up as you bring palms kissing palms to the heart for a robin's breath as we dive forward. Exhale, opening the arms wide like a bird, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, coming forward, palms kissing palms, up to standing. So taking about 5 robin's breaths at your own pace as you dive forward. Inhale, open up the heart, squeezing the shoulders together, and exhale forward. And just taking these as you exhale and inhale as you open. Really finding expansion, contraction, diving, pressing. Using that breath to allow your body to just root here in the standing robin's breath. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, squeeze, 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 open that heart. Inhale, arms up high to the sky, up on the tippity toes for this volcano, really finding some strength in those calves. Exhale, sinking forward, forward, fold here. Exhale as you just hinge that heart and the hips. You can ragdoll or walk side to side. Really, if you need to here, I encourage you, if you need to bend your knees, find a nice round spine if that feels good. Now we're going to walk our hands to the top of the mat, meeting here in a plank position, floating the knees down here, and sinking the booty back to the sit bones. If you need, you can open the knees up wide for a child's pose, for a bhaktasana or a balasana. You can track the arms in front of you or rest them behind you. Allowing yourself to find some rest here. And allowing yourself to take the deepest breath you've taken all day into the back of that heart center, breathing that breath in. Exhaling it out long. Really allowing yourself to find stillness here. Perhaps closing the eyes with that breath, breathing it in long and lengthened, and letting it go. From here, we're going to raise up to tabletop position, bringing those hands about 1 handprint ahead of the shoulders here. We're going to set ourselves up for success. If you need to tuck in your shirt, situate your pants, push your hair to your face, and find your hands rooted into the earth, wide open starfish hands, posting up on the tippity toes, and really tuning into the arms and the biceps. As we tune into the core, lifting up, coming into a plank position, hollowing out through the front body, really expanding through the back of the shoulders here. And we're going to inhale, rock forward, exhale, back to the heels. We're going to inhale, really pressing away from the earth and making sure you're not pitched up high in the booty like a tent or sagging low. Really tune into that core strength and really rooting those hands into the earth as we inhale, coming forward, feeling the stretch in the calves. Exhale, sink into the heels. Inhale. Exhale as you sink back into the heels. Inhale, come forward on those tiptoes and sink. And kind of taking this just at your own pace. On the next exhale, diving the sit bones high up to the sky for a downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Savasana. And in this moment of this inversion, pedaling out the feet, walking your dog, and really allowing those arms to equally root into the earth and still expanding and opening that front body as that heart tries its best to sink towards the upper thighs. And just taking a moment to peek through perhaps the middles of the legs, on the outer edges of the legs. From here, we're going to inhale, raising the right heel high, high, high to the sky. 3-legged dog. Inhale, traveling, bringing the knee in towards the chin, towards the nose, pausing, a big breath here. Exhale as you step that right foot forward and repositioning that left foot facing the left corner of the mat at an angle here. And pressing and rooting your hands into the earth as we hinge with the back of the heart, lifting up for this Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, with the hips facing the short edge of the mat and really tracing down and pressing that front foot into the mat as we raise the arms high up to the sky, finding our inner strength from our feet to our sit bones to the heart and the top of the hands. Breathing a big breath here. Exhaling your inner warrior out. Inhale, pausing, perhaps looking at the clouds behind me. Exhale as we transition to a Virabhadrasana 2, opening up that hind foot facing the long edge of the mat and transitioning the hips also facing the long edge of the mat to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Really finding that strength from the arms, long and strong. Now exhaling that hind arm backwards, high five, peaceful warrior here. Opening that heart humbly, opening that chin a little bit here, breathing that peaceful breath in this spring break practice as we allow ourselves to invite these new coming of the change of the seasons that are soon amidst us. Exhale, windmilling the arms down, coming in for this runner's lunge, my beautiful friends. Option is always to float that knee down to the earth if you need to here, or option to power up. Exhale that left arm. Inhale, twist to the right side, opening up to that bent leg, shoulders stacked over shoulders, right hand high to the sky, spirit fingers if you will, big twisting breath here. Detoxify as you wring out that spine. Inhale, inviting new clean energy as we detoxify with this twist. Exhale that hand down to the earth, and now just walking that bent leg one little step out to the side as you move in, pointing the toes towards the corner of the mat, and perhaps the toes are just tracking off of the mat. Opening up the hip here, inhale, and again, option to stay down on the knee. Pressing into that thigh area as you press and open up that right thigh, and equally pressing that body away from you. And again, if you need to come down on that knee and track that hind foot down to the earth, that feels great too. Inhaling that breath in and letting it go. Breathing into this twist here, finding your inner strength and letting it go. Allowing yourself to feel strengthened by yourself. Exhaling both hands down to the earth in plank position here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Sit bones high up to the sky here. Big breath as you pause here, pressing into the earth, coming forward into that plank position here. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, sit bones high up to the sky. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Holding here, beautiful breath. As you exhale, downward facing dog, back to plank. And taking these at your own pace, really just powering through the hands and the earth. Now exhaling that opposite side, left heel high to the sky, three-legged dog. Inhale, hugging that knee in towards the heart and the chin, hovering for our 2 beautiful breaths. 1, 2, and then stepping that foot forward here. And if you need a helping hand, help yourself. We're going to reposition that hind foot facing those right toes towards the right corner of the mat, really rooting into the earth, pressing in for this warrior 1, setting yourself up for success, really rooting in and bending into that front foot and equally to the left, that hind right foot. Exhale, arms high to the sky, or option to cactus here, option to have hands at the hips with a bend here. Inhale all of the strength of a warrior into the heart. Exhale it out strong. Really finding strength in your lower extremities as well as your upper extremities, and finding that inner core strength, heating up that core, heating up the glutes. Exhale, transitioning Virabhadrasana 2, simple opening up of the hips, opening up the arms long and strong, finding this long line of energy, really squeezing through that root lock and that core lock right in the center, tracking all the way to the chin. Arms go long and strong here, finding that inner strength. Breathing in, I am a warrior. Exhale, I am a warrior. Inhale, I am a warrior. Exhale, I am a warrior. finding that inner strength, creating new positive affirmations for yourself as you practice with me today. Inhaling that long line of energy here. Really rooting up through the calves, wrapping around, spiraling around the thighs, sit bones, core, up high to the sky, rooting all the way through the biceps. Exhaling that hind arm backwards, high five with that left arm. Peaceful warrior, bringing a beautiful breath of peace into your heart. And if I haven't shared with you, I'm here at Marco Island in Florida on spring break, breathing in all of the positive vibes of the white, sandy sugar beaches, which is so lovely. I hope you enjoy this practice with me. It's so beautiful, the palm trees and the birds. And I did have to dub my voice because the wind was so bad. My voice got drowned out, so I apologize for that. Exhaling, repositioning that hind foot and making those hands down to the earth here for this runner's lunge. Repositioning that hind foot, rooting those hands up high, squeezing through the inner thighs. Option to float down on that hind knee, of course, always, if that feels best for you. Now we're going to exhale that right arm down, finding the twist in the left side body. So twisting towards that bent leg as you exhale. Shoulders stacked over shoulders, detoxifying that breath, detoxifying that spine here as you inhale, finding your inner strength, letting it go. Perhaps gazing up at the sky or the water rippling around me. You can notice that breeze blowing, finding your inner stillness, exhaling. And from here, both hands down to the earth, and we're just going to walk the toes out to the left side of the mat. So the toes are going to walk off of the mat. You can always have the option to bend down on that hind knee and relax the feet back. We're going to rest that hand on the left hand on the inner thigh and pressing away, opening up the hip here. And you can power up if you would like to, or stay down and really opening that hip as you breathe into that hip space. Exhale a breath down into the hip joint. Inhale, opening up that hip. Exhaling it long. Really finding the stretch on that inner thigh muscle and just allowing it to feel so good. It's feeling so good for me right now. Really loving this pose. Bringing that breath in, letting it go. Perhaps finding a little stillness between those thoughts as you exhale, both hands down, stepping back to that plank position, powering through that core, hugging that core towards the spine, hauling the front body as we exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. So plank to downward dogs here, my friends, at your own pace. Inhale. Exhale, really finding that inner strength. Plank to downward dog. Finding these at your own pace. Really just pressing the earth away from you as you plank to downward dog. And find your own inhale to exhale. Really feeling that transition in the shoulders as you open up the body here. Exhale to that plank, floating the knees down to the earth. Exhale here, meeting me in a tabletop position, and just allow yourself to just find a child's pose. So if you need to, you can open those knees up wide, sinking the heart down to the earth. You can do a Bhaktasana, the devotional pose with arms tracking forward, or you can bring the arms behind you here. Finding a little rest in the body, a rest in the arms, as you breathe a breath deeper than the last child's pose. Let it float away. Making this next breath a very loud, audible sound as you bring that breath in. And let it melt away. Finding relaxation. Pausing, knowing that there's a time for movement. There's a time for stillness. There's a time for peace. There's a time for play as we breathe that breath in. Allowing your breath to move you closer here, closer to stillness. Exhaling those hands down, meeting knee in this tabletop position, my beautiful friends. And from here, we're going to just make our way to a side. And as you sit on a side here, we're going to bring the legs to one side. So we're going to bring the legs to the left-hand side. And you have the option to bring the legs to the side position, or you can also bring that bottom leg and swing it around and make it long in front of you. So this is a seated twist here. So really root and figure out those sit bones. I know one of my sit bones really likes to pop up on one side. So find your best balance in the spine as you can here sitting up. You're going to exhale those arms up high, twisting to the right side. And again, doing your best to find that balance here as you twist from that spine, detoxifying once again, bringing a lengthened breath in and letting it go. And perhaps noticing something around you, something in your own home. And perhaps if you can peek over the shoulder or peeking past the shoulder if that feels good, or even just not. And from here, you can have the option to, we're going to cross the midsection with that upper leg. So that upper leg is going to cross over, the left leg is going to cross the midsection, really rooting into the earth. And here, I know I can tell a lot my sit bones find more balance into the earth. So really notice that. Be the noticing fairy here. Really notice as you're crossing that midsection, we're growing those brain cells. We're going to exhale and we're going to twist and hug here into the left hand side. So option is to hug that knee into the chest or hook that elbow for those more Molly Shannon spirit fingers. And finding this twist again as we inhale that breath in, exhaling it out. Let that breath come to you, equally pressing it away, detoxifying the body here. And letting it go. Really noticing what it's feeling like in that spine. Notice what it's feeling like in those sit bones. So from here, we're going to come back to center. And you can have a couple different options. You can power through the core, do this fun hands down, whoop, wiggle the legs, and then flip to the opposite side. So now we're going to be on the right side. So you can bring one leg under the other. And what you're doing is you're just nestling the feet in together. And again, you have the option to bring that bottom leg long. So you would lengthen that left leg long. And if that feels better for you, or you can bring both legs long, just depends. So we're going to exhale, twisting to the left side, unringing that spine here, bringing that beautiful breath in, and equally pressing it away. Just noticing once again what it's feeling like, if those sit bones are popping way up, what the spine's doing, noticing the heart rate, noticing the inflow and the exhale of the breath. Letting it go. Bringing in all of the positive vibes of this beautiful island with me. Giving love to all these beautiful palm trees, these beautiful birds. I wish you could hear the birds behind me. They're so beautiful, and in moments just this incredible orchestra. So from the center, we're going to exhale and we're going to cross that top leg over the midsection of the body, right? Coming to the opposite side. Really notice how it's feeling in the booty, right? Ooh, there's some more balance right there. As we root the sit bones in, find length from the spine. And know one side is going to feel different than the other. We're going to hug that knee into the chest, my beautiful friends, as you bring length to the spine. Big breath here. And then exhaling it out. Exhale, we're going to twist here to the right side. So option, you can hug that knee in, you can find that hook around the leg, that Molly Shannon spirit fingers. Do what feels best for you. You can just gaze in front of you, or you can test your center of gravity and try to peek towards the shoulder or even past the shoulder as you bring that breath in. Exhaling it long. Finding that edge, that space between too much and not enough here as we twist and detoxify our spine. It's like wringing out a dirty towel. Exhaling to the center, my beautiful friends. And meeting me in this crisscross applesauce here. And finding your Sukhasana. And now we're going to exhale, really feel what it feels like to crouch forward, because we're always on our phone or driving or on our computers. Really feel what it feels like. Now inhale, open up, expand the diaphragm, and allow yourself to get more energy. You gain more energy automatically because you're opening up that diaphragm and getting more air. So we're going to breathe that breath in, beautiful breath here. And we're going to let it go. We're going to take this moment just to take a little breath practice here. So really expanding that breath all the way into the belly, letting it go. And yoga was created as a way to help get the body and all the wiggles out so we can meet in a meditative position, in a breath position, so we can help find some stillness in our thoughts. So just allowing yourself to really fill up that belly as you inhale that breath in. Exhaling it out. Really bringing that breath in. In that belly, filling that belly up wide, 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 into that belly, expanding, and then exhale. So 5 breaths at your own pace into your belly. And know that I'm still here with you, so just do you. Perhaps switching to a nasal breath. Allowing the breath to follow you like the waves of the water. Beautiful work, my friends. Last beautiful breath here, expansive into that belly, filling it up. Exhaling it out. Wonderful work, my beautiful friends. Now we're going to complete this practice with 3 ohms. So just follow my lead. You can speak it, you can whisper it, or you can think it internally. And know that your voice is the most healing frequency for you. So I strongly recommend that you speak it. Just taking this moment to pause with the inhale. Bringing palms, kissing palms to the heart center. Thank you so much for showing up for me. Allow yourself to give yourself gratitude, wrapping your arms around yourself for a hug. Thank you for showing up today for this beautiful spring break practice. Telling yourself, I'm so grateful for you. You are amazing. You did such a good job. Thank you for showing up. That's the biggest thing. Palms, kissing palms to that heart center. Namaste, my beautiful friends. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I will see you back here very soon. And thank you just for being in these positive vibrations of the ocean. I'm so grateful. I love you. See you so soon.